Hello, my beautiful, beautiful friend. Have you been feeling the overwhelm? Have you been feeling just down in the dumps, hot mess mom, out of control kind of life? Let me talk to you. I've been a mess. I've been depressed. I've been overwhelmed. I've been to the bottom of the pits. I almost ended my life because, quote, motherhood got to be too much. But I realized a few things. For one, home management is not equivalent to motherhood. You can suck at one while excelling at the other. Okay, girl? I already had everything I needed to see the good in life in order to succeed, in order to thrive and find absolute joy, and so do you. You can be the calm in the storm. You can set the energetic tone for those around you, for your entire household. You hold more power than you've ever realized. You don't have to do anything. You get to. It is your privilege. It's an honor. It's a divine responsibility to be the queen of your home. It's not a burden. You're in charge. You're the ruler. You're the chaos coordinator. You're in control of how you show up in your own life, and you are the main character of your own story. You are surrounded by abundant blessings, not buried in burdens. You are in the exact right place, mama. You're the exact right mom for your kids. It's not a mistake that you were put together on this planet. Of all the moms across all time and space, it's your destiny, your legacy to be with that child. You have to stop. We have to stop this mommy martyrdom narrative. Misery loves its company, but so does excitement and joy. So let's get excited about motherhood again, about life. It's time for more than survival mode. It's time to rise. It's time to thrive. It's time for you to believe to your core that you are meant to bloom. Hey, beautiful. Welcome back to the show. If you have not gotten the Get Started guide, I need you to go down, download it right now, save it in your books app, save it in your files, print it off, whatever you got to do it, save it. Mindset makeover, stress less toolkit, kitchen printables that are going to help you meal plan and grocery shop. Do these things, and I promise it will. I don't know, I can't promise. Made my life so much easier. These were the right places for me to get started when I felt like I was totally overwhelmed and drowning because there was just too freaking much to do. Get started with the Get Started guide. You start with the mindset, get your mind right. Stress Less Toolkit, learn how to unstress your life. And then kitchen printables, it's going to make mealtime easier because everybody's got to eat every single day, including you. Okay, moving on into the episode. Now that you got that, you know where to start. Step 1, Get Started guide. Step 2, finish listening to this episode. Or reverse that, listen to this episode. I'll remind you again later to get the Get Started guide downloaded afterwards. It is the first actionable step you can take to creating a better life that you're actually excited to live. Okay? And speaking of your life, let's talk about your day-to-day living with a schedule. I have never been one to thrive on a super strict schedule, especially when I'm the only one holding myself accountable to that schedule. Okay? When I worked when I was going into school, when I was working jobs, when I have an appointment, I can stick to a schedule pretty well when it's someone else's time. But when it's all my time and I'm the responsible adult around, somehow it becomes a struggle. Okay. And I know we're getting back into the back to school thing, and we're going to start having all kinds of stuff to fill our calendars. And every day is going to be, a school day or a not school day. Yep. We're about to get busy. Sorry about this. I'm moving my mic. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, we are doing a homeschool charter school this year. And so we've already started easing into homeschool around here because I have a first grader and a kindergartner both starting school this year. So we're really easing into the whole idea of we're school age kids now. Last year, my now first grader did kindergarten at a private school and then a public school. And mornings were so stinking hard. I hate waking my kids up. I love when they can sleep in and then wake up in a really good mood. That's just how we are over here. We're those kinds of people. We like to sleep in. We are not super early morning people. I can be a morning person once I'm awake, but I really love a slow morning. I really do. And you might be surprised to know that I don't like keeping a strict schedule. If you know me, and you know about my planners and the fact that I am just a planner junkie, I am hot for planners. I design planners. I design planners for other businesses. I made my own planners, the 90-day planning journal. I'm really into planning. I love meal planning. I have meal planning guides, some really great meal planning blog posts. Honestly, that's how a lot of people have found me online, is through my meal planning blog post from 2019, believe it or not. I'm super into planning. I love a well-planned life, but I don't like sticking to a daily at-home schedule. And I am at home more days than not because I like to be at home. And we just bought my literal dream home. So why would I want to leave? Honestly, like I really, really love being home now. So how do I use my planner, be a successful stay-at-home mom who does all the things but not keep a strict schedule? Number one, I'm not doing all the things. Let's be honest. Everything takes turns getting done. Everything takes turns. Top of the list is always my own mental health and my children's safety / relationship with me. That's tied. So my mental health and my children are top of my list. Everything else takes turns. So how I keep a unstrict schedule, all right, and still manage to get things done. I possibly have ADHD. I've never been diagnosed. It could be symptoms of depression. I know those things can overlap in a lot of ways, but I do have time blindness, and I do hyper focus on things, and I do forget to eat, and I do think I'm going to go to the kitchen and eat, and then get distracted and do 10 other things. Okay, so if that's where you're at, possible ADHD, possible depression, possible just mom brain, because you're doing all the things all day long and you're scattered all over the place. Welcome. We are birds of a feather here. Let's flock together. Okay, that was weird. I should do a little dance to that. I'm sorry. It's embarrassing. No, it's not. That's authentically who I am. Okay, welcome. You're here. You're safe. This is the safe space to be who you are, how you are. Okay, we do not have it all together, but we are doing our best. That is the vibe. Okay, so keeping an unstructured schedule. Number one to keeping an unstructured schedule. Give yourself grace. No one's doing everything. And if they are, they're about to burn out. I have, for brief moments, done all the things and kept on top of everything. And 2 days later, I would get into a depressive episode or just burn out and have a really bad day. It's not something that can last. It's not feasible. It's not doable long term. So yeah, you could have a couple days here and there where you do a lot of things. But going into the new school year, starting to put in a schedule, if you've been on like summer schedule where you're just totally unplanned, totally winging it, and now you want to like get your life together and do all the things, the worst thing you can do is create a tight schedule for your day if you're not someone who thrives on a tight schedule already. I've seen a lot of stay-at-home mom schedules on Pinterest, and it's broken down hour by hour, moving on to a new task every single hour from like 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And oh my gosh, just looking, I didn't even read the whole list. I was overwhelmed looking at it. And I was like, that is not the kind of life I ever want to live. I hate the moments when my life has become a series of checklists. It's not fun. It's stress. And then when you miss one and you get behind, you're creating so many opportunities for guilt and anxiety and unworthiness to seep in. Like you're just creating opportunities for negative thoughts to take a hold and bring your self-esteem down. So I don't do that anymore. I don't make big, long to-do lists and expect to do them. If I'm not in a good mindset where I know I could do one thing on this list and feel good, I could make this list simply as a brain dump and not do anything, and I'll feel better, then I'll make the list. And then I'll go, a lot of times, one of the greatest things you can do is make the list as a brain dump and then go through and cross off everything that's not even that important to you. Everything that's not time sensitive or important. Things that someone else can do, things you could do a week from now, things you really don't even have to do. Just cross them all off. Make the list and check everything off that you're not going to do it. And if you get left with between 1 and 6 things, schedule them out this week. Pick one thing to do every day. That is great for your self-esteem. That is great for keeping promises to yourself. It's great for your confidence. It's great for creating momentum and motivation to keep on going. Okay, this is where the key is. So you're going to give yourself grace that you're not going to do everything. Get clear on that right now, that you don't have to do everything for everyone, and you don't have to do everything that you desire to do, and you don't have to be on top of everything all at one time. You absolutely do not. Okay? You are going to kick butt this fall. You're going to be the best mom you possibly can this fall. And you're going to be an excellent home manager at the same time, and you're going to take really great care of yourself. And you know why? You're going to get the Get Started guide. If you don't have it yet, you're going to get that, and you're going to keep those as your pillars. You know? You're going to keep your mindset keen. You're going to keep your mindset just dialed in to optimism and abundance. You're going to expect good things to happen, and you're going to know that you're worthy of every good thing that happens. You're going to know that you're enough. You're going to know that you are capable and that you are strong. You're going to do that. And you're not going to stress. You're going to dig into that stress list toolkit. You're going to put mental health practices to work and keep them easy. Okay? There's also a 1-day planner printable in that guide, which is my daily planner layout, which has it has space for your intention, your affirmation, your gratitude. You can time block on it. Print out, a week worth of those at a time. Take things one day at a time. It's a 1-day planner. There's no week view, no month view. It's just your daily planner for each day. It's got space for you to write your priority tasks, but only 3. That's all you're going to do is 3 of them. Okay? Get that planner. It's going to help you keep on top of things. It's going to help you get what's in your brain out on paper and make sense of it. Be able to see where your priorities are. Be able to see where you need to be physically. Okay? And then there's, of course, the kitchen templates in there, which are just going to help you make mealtime simpler so that you don't have to think about it all day long. Save that brain space, save that mental energy for helping your kids with their homework when they get home from school, or helping your kids with their homeschool when they're homeschooling all day long. Okay? These are where your pillars are. You're going to take care of your mindset and your mental health, and you're going to be there for your kids, like actually there, physically and mentally and emotionally for them, because you're taking care of yourself, and because you're not going to fill your schedule to the brim because you think that you have to be doing something all of the time in order to have value as a human, because that's just a huge false myth. And a lot of times we start believing that without realizing that that's the belief we've already formed for ourselves. You don't have to do a lot. You really don't. I am getting burnt out on doing too many things business-wise right now. Let me be honest with you on that. I had this really great run with social media for a while. I was cranking out a lot of really good reels, and I was doing things right, and I was seeing some growth. And then I looked at my content calendar for social media, and I was like, I don't have any desire to do any of this right now. I was doing like 2 reels a day, carousel posts, and all those things. And it was a little bit fun for, about a week. And then it wasn't fun anymore. And sometimes our personal and our home and our family schedules get to be like my content calendar, my Instagram strategy calendar. and you look at it and it's just full of a lot of things you don't want to do. I feel ya. I've been there. I used to fill my schedule. I worked multiple jobs, taught dance classes, was constantly saying yes to a lot of events and things that I didn't really want to do. This was back before becoming a mom, and it was all things for other people, things for myself. I was always down to help anything, pick up more shifts, whatever. And I filled all of my schedule. And what I was doing, was avoiding thinking and feeling. I was avoiding dealing with the fact that I had depression at the time until it would catch up with me. And my physical body would be so burnt out, and my mental capacity was just overflowing. It was overexerted. And then the depression would come in, the symptoms of depression, the feelings of depression, and I would slide into this deep, deep pit of depression because I had worn myself out and I wasn't strong enough to fight the pull. What I do now is the exact opposite. I keep my schedule clear, but not clear so I can go binge watch TV. I keep it clear so I can be intentional every day. And that's how I start my days, is being intentional and saying, do I need to take today really slow? Do I need to take today and take my physical energy and get ahead on housework and stuff? Or do I need to take today and like really focus on my family? Where are the what's falling through the cracks is how I will spend the day. And it all starts with being intentional with a blank calendar. Be very intentional. Be stingy with your time. Be strategic with your time. You don't have to do all the things just because someone else is doing them or someone else says that's what you have to do to be successful. You do you, boo. Sorry I said that. No, I'm not sorry. I'm authentically myself. Safe space to be who you are. Yep, me too. I'll set that example. So here's how I keep an unstructured schedule at home, because I don't like that tight schedule as a stay-at-home mom. All right. On the one-day planner, you'll see this is the template I use every single day. In my daily planners, in my planning journals, depends if you're looking at the Everyday Joy Planner or the new 90-day planning journal. The daily views are all the same. It is broken into 4 categories. So you can do a sort of time blocking, or honestly, each of them can equal 4 hours. And you can do an hourly schedule if that is more your vibe. But I try to keep it more as a time block and say all of the pink banners every like 4 hours, basically. I don't keep it to an hourly schedule, but in my head, they equal about 4 hours. All of those are meal times. And sometimes, honestly, I'll be honest, I have to set a reminder to eat, because I will get time blind and I will get distracted and I will hyper focus and I will forget to eat until later in the day, and then it throws off the hormones, throws off the motivation, throws off the momentum. Just kind of turn into a physical mess because of it. You get frantic and all of that. It's not fun. And I know a lot of us have been there. I feel you. But I take something that is already happening and use it as an anchor. And then I divide my day based on those anchors. So that something already happening could be school drop off, could be school pickup. When my kid was in public school, private school, when he was going to and from school, I used pickup and drop off as anchors in my day because I knew those had to happen at a specific time. I say, what's going to happen before the anchor? What's going to happen after the anchor? That was the schedule. I wasn't sticking to a ton of tight hourly schedules. I wasn't saying I only have this amount of time to finish this and then I have to move on to a new thing. It was saying I'm going to, drop my kid off at school, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a work block. And I'm going to do whatever I need to do for work. Then I'm going to pick him up, And then we're going to have lunch, and then we are going to, do a block of home care tasks. And then I'm going to have a 1 hour block where I intentionally rest. And then it's dinner time. That was how I used to set up my day. Now it's broken down based on, I wake up and I have my coffee. By the time the kids want their breakfast, now what's going to happen? I'm going to do a work block, or I'm going to do a home care block, or I'm going to do a do nothing day. And then moving on to the next, every time we're having a meal, we're switching gears. Instead of trying to do a ton of things back to back or switching gears all day long, we're blocking our time. I'm batching things. So I'm doing all of one task kind of thing all at one time. I'm up moving and doing home care for like a 2 hour block. Not every day. I don't spend 2 full hours on home care in a block every single day. I really don't. But if it's a day where I can focus on it, then yeah, I'll do 2, sometimes up to 4 hours if I get time blind about it. I did that the other day when I made all my kids go through all their toys. I heard a study that said the number of toys a kid should have access to is 16. After that, they get overwhelmed. I was like, oh crap, I think they have more than 16 each. They definitely did. And I'm not counting my toy library, because the toy library is kept off limits unless, they have permission to take one box out, and, we're going to take out the Lincoln Logs, put those away. You can take out your Hot Wheels, put those away. Those are all what's kept in the toy library, where they don't have full access all day long to. But I'm talking about the toys that are in their bedrooms. They each have a plastic tote, a toy bin. They definitely had too many. They kept bringing them out and then whining that they were too tired to put them all away. So I spent 4 hours that day helping them. I gave them each 16 tokens from a card game, and had them each take turns picking a toy to put in their bin. And when we got down to the last of them, we put them all in a box, and they are in the garage waiting to be donated if they don't come and ask to trade something for those. If after a few months they can't remember what's in that bin, it's gone. Clearly they didn't care about it. And I know none of their favorite things are in there, so we're safe from that. Anyways, and then after that, I went and I cleaned the kitchen, and I got stuff prepared for dinner, and I didn't even know where the time was because I was so in the groove. That I filled that block with home care tasks, and it felt really good to get to the end of it. And then I was really tired. And then luckily my husband came home and was prepared to make dinner. So that was awesome, that I didn't have to make dinner after all that. But that's how we unstructure our schedule. Find something that's going to happen and make it your anchor. And then batch tasks based on, I'm going to do admin tasks. I'm going to do home care planning tasks. I'm going to do, we're going to do all the phone calls during this time. We're going to do, I'm going to do self-care at this time. I'm going to go take time for me. I'm going to go read and take a bath, whatever. Or this is errand time. This is when we're going to go do grocery shopping, whatever. This is a meal prep period. This is a time when we can do baking for the week. This is, you don't have to do all the things every day, obviously, but putting it into a batched time frame so that you're not switching tasks constantly. Because honestly, your kids are going to come distract you, cause you to switch tasks often. If you can keep your mentality, this 3 hours is set aside to do home care stuff, or this 3 hours is set aside to do blogging or writing a book, or whatever. This 3 hours is set aside to do nothing. Then when your kids come and distract you, to go right back to that thing you were doing. They're not distracting you, and then you have to switch gears to something else. You get it? You get my vibe? You get what I mean here? Keep it loose. Keep the schedule loose. Give yourself grace the whole time that you're not going to do everything all day long. You don't win an award for having the most packed day. Try to keep white space where you can. Also, equally as important, you don't want to burn out, right? Keeping your schedule clear is number one in burnout prevention, to keep empty space anywhere you can. Don't fill it just for the sake of filling it. Do the things you got to do, obviously, but also take time to intentionally plan rest, like real restful rest. And you can go back and listen to episode 94, I think it is. If your rest isn't restful, this is why. Because real rest is not playing on your phone and binging TV. Those are mentally stimulating tasks. Okay, that's getting off your feet. That's not really resting. That's not really restoring your soul. It's not grounding you. Choose a task to rest. Excuse me. That is actually restful to you. It's going to fill you up to keep you going. All right. I love you so much, friend. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to go get your Get Started guide. Let me tell you a little bit more about that. Are you feeling totally buried in responsibility and burnt out on showing up? Been there, and I created this totally free bundle of resources for you. You have to get the Get Started guide if you haven't already. If you're ready to strip off the unnecessary baggage and limiting beliefs you've been carrying around, if you're so done making things more difficult than they need to be, if you're ready for guilt-free rest and enjoyment in your life, you need the Get Started guide. This instant download is full of my favorite resources: the Mindset Makeover, the Stress Less Toolkit, and my super trendy and adorable kitchen templates to make meals and groceries a little bit simpler and a whole lot prettier. The Get Started guide is made up of tools and practices to help you cope with stress and anxiety. And because so much of your happiness is determined by your mindset, this instant download is what you need to start thinking about the way that you think, so you can overcome what's overwhelming you, take control of your days, and love the life you've got. Get your free download of the Get Started guide today and get started loving your life. Find it in the description below. And thank you so much for listening to this episode today. Your involvement and your encouragement is so loved and appreciated. If you wouldn't mind doing one or all of the following tiny little favors for me, I would so greatly appreciate it. Okay, 1, if you could make sure that you hit the follow button so you don't miss another episode, that's going to benefit you just as much as it does me, maybe more. Number 2, if you could leave me a review down below, especially if you're listening to Apple Podcasts, that would be so appreciated. Literally, I cry over the reviews that I read. I love them so much. It makes me feel so deeply connected to you, and it helps others find my show by recommending it to new listeners every day. And number 3, be bold, be brave, don't be stingy. When you know something, it's your responsibility to share it with a friend. So make it easy, share this episode with a friend, and if you choose to share it on Instagram, can you please tag me, because I would so love to get connected and to see it, at Britt Clarkson. All right, thanks friend, love you so much. Till next time.